We'd like to welcome to Art in the Air Spotlight. He's been with us many times before. You can hear his previous interview, but we're going to focus on something he's got coming up. Tom Torluemke, and he is now releasing a whole brand new book. It's kind of an archive of his all his paintings, kind of his life's work, all wrapped up during the whole thing. So, Tom, welcome to Art in the Air Spotlight, and congratulations on your new book.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Esther, for having me on again. It's so nice that you guys are such good supporters of the arts. Well, the book is, the book is actually a companion. It goes along with an exhibition at the Chicago Cultural Center, and it's Tom Torluemke Live on Paper. So it highlights like 40 years, like from 1987 or something like that, all the way to the present of all these various like works on paper that I've done over all these many years. I think with a special focus on watercolors. And the way this whole thing came about is like super important because I call it the miracle visit or the miracle show, because this curator, Dan Cameron, who is, if there was somebody that I would choose in the whole world to curate my show, it would have been Dan Cameron. So he, through recommendation by two other artist friends, he was encouraged to look at my work. And to make a long story short, eventually he came down to Northwest Indiana, came to the basement in the studio and looked through almost everything I had. He was putting like paintings under his arm, 2-3 paintings at a time, flipping through piles. And then what happened was we had lunch. I thought he was only going to stay for an hour. He ended up staying for like 4 hours or something.
Wow.
And it was amazing. So we were just so fortunate. And then he said, "What's going on? How come people don't know about you?" And then I said, "I don't know. Linda and I have been working really hard." And he said, what do you got happening maybe? And then we said that we were trying to get a show at the Cultural Center. And he said, "Well, would you mind if I got behind that, if I curated your show at the Cultural Center?" And that was it. That was the day my life changed. He's just such an outstanding person.
So that conversation came before the book? So there was that conversation and then you put the book together? Is that what was the, so that's the catalyst.
What happened was that once he said he wanted to curate the show, he had to contact the Cultural Center and stuff, and he like secured that deal right away. And then he's like, "We need to have a book to accompany the exhibit, you know?" So we're like, okay. And we're trying to figure out who's going to publish it. And we're thinking about it. And, you know, we didn't want it to be sort of a self-published book or anything like that. The Cultural Center, only has so much money in their budget. You know, things are tight nowadays. But what happened was Dan, coincidentally, was having lunch with the somebody from Skira Publishing, and the guy said to Dan, "Are you working on any projects? We'd love to work with you." And Dan said, "Yeah, I have a few projects." He said, "Why don't you pitch us some ideas?" And he submitted 4 ideas to this guy from Skira, and the guy chose me to do the book.
Wow.
So that's how the book came about. It was just happenstance, Dan's just ability to get things done.
You didn't really have a book in mind, but it was Dan's prospect to kind of pushing that forward. And so how does the exhibit relate to the book, or the book relate to the exhibit? Or does the book actually go more into your background and work?
So it started out as maybe it was going to be like a catalog for the show. But then as time went on, Dan and Linda and I and other people were like, "I think this book needs to be very full." So they decided, Dan decided, Linda decided, and other people we've been talking to decided they were going to do a straight up monograph with a focus on works on paper. But almost all the paintings that are in the book are going to be in the show, unless for some reason when we hang the show we can't fit them all. So it's kind of like a catalog for the show, but it's more a straight up monograph with a biography. There's how many writers? There's 5 writers: Dan Cameron, Alan Picaro, Robin DeLuzin, Jeff Hubner, and David Detmer, who's local here. He teaches at Purdue. All of those people wrote tremendous feature pieces in the book to companion all of the art that goes in the book.
It looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks like beautiful quality and big too. I think 160 pages.
Yeah, like again, a dream show, like miracle. Let's call it a miracle show and a miracle book to companion it. I would have never thought that would have happened ever, but I was very fortunate. And then to have so many
Congratulations.
friends, and my wife Linda, and everybody that helped do all of this. It's like and all the funders, everything was just unbelievable. Linda did all the fundraising.
Well, in our final moments here, tell us about the event real quickly.
It's Saturday, May 24th at the Chicago Cultural Center, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's the show. It opens at 1 and it lasts till 4 p.m., the opening. But just before that, this is a very special thing. At 12:15 in the theater that's in the Cultural Center, they're going to do a roast of me. So there's going to be 12 people. Tony Fitzpatrick is going to be the host of the roast, and they're going to really go at me, like make me feel much smaller. And I really need that.
So Saturday, May 24th, 12:15, the roast, 1 to 4 is the opening, Chicago Cultural Center, and you can find out information at your website. Thank you much, Tom, for coming on Art in the Air Spotlight and sharing this wonderful journey with your book and opening.
Oh, completely. Congratulations so much, Tom.
Thank you so much for being who you are.
Art in the Air Spotlight and the complete 1-hour program on Lakeshore Public Media is brought to you by McCauley Real Estate in Valparaiso, Olga Patrician, Senior Broker.